Samantha. I'm
Yes.
Samantha Sedeth. I
Okay.
am a case manager here at the Rare Breed, and I've been here for about 4 years. The Rare Breed has been around for 13 years, though,
Okay.
so we've got quite a bit of history here in Springfield. The way we started was back in 2000. The community noticed that there was a lot of youth hanging out on the square. Called them square rats.
Yeah.
And they realized that something needed to be done. That these kids were obviously there for a reason, and there was kind of a call to action. And Todd Duncan, who founded the Rare Breed, was the one who got together with some movers and shakers in the community and got the kids together, and they all communicated and figured out that the kids needed an outreach center, which is what this building is right here. We started out over in the Moxie,
Okay.
where that is located, outgrew that really quickly and moved over to Campbell Street, and then outgrew that location, and now we're here. And pretty much what the kids said was, we need a one-stop shop, a place to go where we can get food, we can get hygiene products, we can take a shower, we can talk to staff, we can eat a meal, maybe on the internet, look for jobs, do everything that we want to do, and hang out and,
Yeah.
and feel safe. And so that's really what we've strived to provide for our youth here in Springfield.
Okay.
We also have our transitional living program, so that works more on that shelter aspect for our youth, because here they're going to get their basic needs met. They're going to try to establish a healthy relationship with an adult, because so many of our youth have no concept of what it's like to have a healthy adult in their life, which is where our staff come into play. And kind of once they reach that moment, it's trying to figure out, well, what can we do in the bigger picture? And a lot of times that's shelter.
Yeah.
And so that's where our transitional living program comes in. We lost funding this year for that program.
I was gonna ask, like, where do you get all your funds for like feeding them and
Yeah.
everything like that?
Well, with our funding that we lost this spring for our transitional living program, the Kitchen Inc. is who is our parent company. And so as our parent company, they provide us with, with some funds, but there is a lot of funds that we received from the government via FSBE, which is the Federal Youth Services Bureau. They have a 3 and 5 year grant cycle that they run on, and our transitional living program was on a 5-year grant, and we lost that funding, not because we weren't doing great, but the purpose of a grant is to get you started,
Yeah.
keep you going, and then you're supposed to keep going from there. Every grant you ever write has a contingency page on it, where what is your plan if you do not get this grant. So we were able to move all the youth that we had in shelter to 8 apartments in one house in the community.
Okay.
And so now all of our youth are scattered around the community and really integrated into Springfield now, which I believe is much better for them.
Yes.
The center here is also funded by the Federal Youth Services Bureau, but we just recently lost that grant as well. With everything that's going on in the government right now, with all the shutdowns and all the
Yeah.
funding cuts, I mean, food stamps was cut. When something as large as food stamps and Medicaid and those services are cut, youth services funding really goes down. And so we again we're not funded for this program, which is technically called a street outreach program. And that means that we have a certain amount of hours each week that we're required to go out onto the streets and go to places where we know our youth congregate and make sure they're doing okay, make sure
Yeah.
they have those warm, the hot hands and the
Yeah.
chapstick and water, and hey guys, remember we're open from 3 to 10 Monday through Friday. You guys need to come on down and do all of those things. So now that we don't have any funding,
Yeah.
we are really working hard on hitting up the community. And thankfully Springfield has been super giving. When the transitional living program lost its funding, we were able to go to the Wooten Company, and they provide all of our apartments in the community, a lot of them at half price
That's
for their
amazing.
rent, which is really wonderful for us. We had some large donors come in, anonymous donors with some large sums of money for us. And the other things that we provide for our youth, we have a really strong presence in the community, and again, just those private donors are really what's pulling through for us. The United Way, we partner with them. We have grants from them. Mercy Hospital does a Force for Good grant every year, and we received $60,000 from them this year.
That's great.
Which at first it was $20,000. That's how much we were going for.
Right.
And they raised so much money and felt so strongly about our cause that they ended up giving us $60,000. So
That's amazing.
that was huge for us as well. And really, Lonnie, who is our coordinator, who normally would be sitting where I am, she goes out into the community and just does speech after speech after speech, and really wants to educate the area about what we're doing. We are a presence, and there's a Springfield Homeless Task Force. We're a presence there. We are any place that is dealing with homelessness. We are trying to make sure that we are on all the task forces and the prevention groups and all of those other things, because we work with it, daily.